Okay, so the original Pasquale Arpeggio, the Pasquale Grasso Arpeggio, let me just get an idea what tempo it's at. So it's quite quick. I don't know if I'll be able to get up to that speed, but I do like to practice things reasonably at tempo with in chunks. So if I was going to practice this arpeggio, I mean, it's, you could go slow. It kind of, I think it kind of loses a bit of what the point of Pasquale's lesson was, which was the idea that you're going to break it up into a single note, which I'm going to play with an upstroke just because that makes mechanical sense. And then go... So it's basically that, isn't it? The next one. So if we're breaking this down, we go down, 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 and then, whoops, hitting the wrong string. Okay, so that's the first bit of the arpeggio. The second bit of the arpeggio is actually, the last bit of the arpeggio. So we're breaking into D plus an F minor triad, and then D plus an F minor triad, and the sweep pattern is. We practice like that. You can do that at full speed. I mean, sweep picking rushes anyway, and I think Pasquale is almost making a kind of feature of that when he plays the arpeggios. His interest isn't really in making everything super even, so because of that I don't think practicing it slow is necessarily an appropriate way to go about it. I kind of feel like it's a gesture, it all comes together, all runs together in one go. Like that. Ooh, it's a nice feeling. I can't quite nail that. It's nice. And then we've got this more conventional bit at the end, which is actually the bit I struggle with. Largely because my fingering just doesn't usually work like that. I don't stretch from the third to fourth finger. I'm not a proper classical guitarist, unlike Pasquale. Or I could position shift it. I don't know. That's a bit untidy. Let's do it a tiny bit slower. That's okay, isn't it? Yeah, getting there. So I mean, that's kind of the way I do it. So but I practice so. Hit it like that, maybe. Just to give it that kind of. My fingering's so rubbish. Okay. So I'm practicing it in chunks and kind of spacing them out in time rather than sort of slowing everything down, which is a more conventional way to practice something fast. And I find it works quite well. I mean, another way I would practice that is you've got your classic G minor, G minor gypsy arpeggio, which is, a good shape because you can play it with two fingers. So what I might do is go. Probably the difficult bit there. It's kind of a little bit ropey still, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Something there, maybe? There's just, Django could probably do that. Do double position shift as second finger, slide and pick it accurately, but I can't really. So what I might do, whoops, as I've got. Maybe. Yeah, getting there. So I'm, kind of quite interested in getting this bit clean. best, I'm not sure. Oh, sorry, it's wrong key. That's better. You know, so this is kind of the way I work on fast stuff. I don't necessarily slow everything down. I mean, obviously at the beginning when you're trying to work out what the fingerings are, you need to kind of go... or whatever it is, you know. You know, but I mean, after a while I would have started speeding up and seeing it as a gesture. And, so certainly with sweeps and stuff. You know, it's kind of like you have to kind of get into just the motion of it and the way it feels to me. And I think that's what's nice about Pasquale's approach to arpeggios, is that he is thinking of it that way. So, I mean, it's kind of how I've done it, but not quite so organised in the past. So if I do like, let's see, let's do another one. Let's do a C major arpeggio. So that's going to be C major 7th. That's quite hard actually, because we've got to stretch. So, okay. So getting that, getting this big position shift right is kind of the challenge of that. Pasquale probably use these fingers. Ooh, slightly inaccurate fretting, right? It's not great, but will do. And I suppose another way to practice is you could go boom. That feels very classical. Whatever it is. Would it do that shift, I wonder? Because that unlocks the top bit of the neck there, right? So. And to me it's like concentrating on the quality of that movement, which isn't very good at the moment, that's what you said. I mean, that. It's that, isn't it? If we go back to the D minor one. It's like that. So in a sense, I suppose, I mean, you know, I mean, this is kind of very analogous to the whole thing on the other bit of the Pasquale video where he's going on, you know, just going where you need to just get used to kind of setting up your fingers before you play. And of course with me it's always this one, going from like that to that, right? These kinds of shapes where you've got to move your little finger. Of course my little finger is pretty bad, you know. You know, just still moving through some Barry Harris chord scales there, like major 6 diminished, for example, and not even playing, just kind of setting my fingers up ready to go. One exercise which I was doing was doing that, right? Because I wanted to kind of separate out the idea of me having to play. Sorry, change key there, but never mind. Sorry. You get the idea anyway. I'm completely messing that up, but that's just me kind of going, well, I play like a tune, like Autumn in New York. So. It's quite hard to do, right? So it's like, So if I go... That's really tough, that. That I find really hard. Horrible. Anyway, yeah, so that's the sort of thing I've been working on, you know, fingering wise, and it's all based on really the Pasquale video. A bit rambling anyway, but I mean, a lot of these problems are basically the same as you would come across if you were playing classical guitar. So for me, I mean, I can either try to dominate them. Sorry. Like that, you know, at least then, you know, I'm not necessarily harmonising every chord, but I'll practice harmonising every chord and getting into these infernal sort of movements of the little finger, which is so taxing to me when playing this style of guitar. It's really tough, and obviously Pasquale is really good at it. That's kind of his killer rap, is just that he's got such a incredibly dexterous and powerful little finger, you know, and most jazz guitarists really don't, because they don't spend their time playing Bach and all that stuff, you know. And maybe we don't need to become good jazz guitarists, but I think like Pasquale's virtuosity of technique, which to me is much more about his left hand than about his right hand. His right hand I can understand, I can do everything his right hand can do, it's not a problem for me. I've got a pretty good right hand, but the amazement for me is the way he employs his fretting hand in all various ways in order to be able to play all of this Bud Powell music, which is basically what he does, and it's phenomenal. And anyway, I've rambled on a bit as I always do, but I hope some of that was useful. And yeah, good luck. Good luck with that. Bye.